Good evening and welcome to SAFC Fan TV on a Thursday night with Thursday Night Live, where we talk all things Sunderland AFC. Joining us tonight, we got Emma. Emma, how's your day been?
Aye, not bad, Phil. Just been working hard, as I always do.
Working hard, working hard. We've been joined by Wayne's with us tonight as well. Wayne, how's your day been?
Yeah, not bad, Phil. Like Emma says, work all day and then looking forward to discussing all things Sunderland for the next hour.
There you go. And of course, we've been joined by Jack Shields as well. Jack, have you been at work today?
I have indeed, yeah, and I've just had a quick hour at the gym, so get myself in the right, frame of mind, fit body, fit mind, ready to talk Sunderland.
Oh, I'm trying to get a fit body ready for the holidays, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle not eating any chocolate, no bread, no chips, and all that. Anyway, don't forget, of course, we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat if you wish to do so. Have your say. Come on, join in the show. Why don't you do that? Already on there. Las Palmas Mackham is first, as he always is. Mick Griffiths on there. DJ Earth is with us as well. Says evening all. So if you want to join in the show, please do so via the live chat. We're going to start by congratulating Ahmad Diallo, who's won the PFA Fans Player of the Month award for December. Well deserved. I mean, Ross Stewart was in there as well, amongst others. Jack, think that's well deserved, that award?
Yeah, I think he had a very, very good month, didn't he? He scored a good few goals. He was involved. He probably got a few assists. So yeah, he really came to the fore, didn't he? In December, he was probably a key player for us and helped us to get, was it 3 wins we got in December? Wigan, Blackburn, and Millwall. So he featured heavily, and hopefully it's a sign for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? So he can keep continuing to play well and play a vital part in the rest of the season. But I think he really does. He really is becoming more and more of a key player for us, isn't he? Really, that the more he plays, the more he improves and helps.
Definitely, I totally agree. I mean, when he first arrived, was sort of the jury was out on him, but the more he does play, like you say, Jack, he's getting better and better. And I mean, I wasn't aware that Man United had paid 37 million for him. And I thought, dear me, but he might not be a 37 million pound player, but he's certainly shining in this division. Emma, well deserved award for him, do you think?
Yeah, pretty much just what Jack said. It is deserved. He's played well. Every time he plays, he seems to just get better and better, and he's getting stuck in, which is what we need. It's what we want from the player.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, on the chat, Mick Griffiths says, be careful, lads and lasses. You could end up with a body like Phil's. My body's all right, man. Well, you squint a bit. And also, Chris Johnson says, not a derby for me. We are going to get onto this with the Isborough derby, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Win PFA Fans Player of the Month then for Ahmad. Well deserved, yes.
Yeah, I think so. I thought Roscoe might have gotten it just purely because of his goals since he came back in the team, but it's kind of a 50-50 for me. But I think that, like Jack's just been saying there, he seems to be getting better with every game he plays, and let's hope he can continue that into the second half of the season and spur us on. But I definitely well deserved.
Definitely. I mean, well, just again reiterating what Jack said, he is becoming more of a key player. Somebody who's in there who can actually do something as well. A little bit of magic. He is looking like a really good loan signing. Don't forget, of course, you can have your say. As we say, we are live, so join us on the live chat if you wish to do so. And please hit the thumbs up. We like to try and hit 50 if we can on a Thursday. We've already got 65 people on the stream. Just hit the thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do that. And of course, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe, and that will help us out. Also, a little bit of news coming in as well today. The last day of the season when we play Preston North End. All the fixtures have been moved because the King's coronation is going to be on Saturday the 6th. So that weekend, everything's sort of getting moved forward. So now our last game of the season is actually going to be on the Monday. The Monday is a bank holiday Monday. So we're now going to play Preston North End, which is the last game of the championship season. 3 o'clock kickoff, Monday, the 8th of May. That is going to be. So what are your thoughts on that? Is that a good move for you, Wayne? Do you like the sound of that, or would you have preferred it to have been on the Saturday or the Sunday as it normally played?
I don't think it really matters. I mean, it would have been nice to be a Saturday, but it would have been a bank holiday weekend. I don't think it would make much difference. I think, the people like to go out for a drink as well. They'll probably enjoy that being a bank holiday Monday as well. So it's probably the best move would have been the King's Coronation. Like, they couldn't really have the two on the same day. So I think it's probably the smart move and the right move to make. I'm just pleased they've kept it at 3 o'clock, not the early kickoffs.
Right, fair enough. So you think when they've looked at it, King Charles has said, well, Sunderland are playing that day. We're kind of, what we're going to do. I mean, for me, I love it because I've actually got a chance to go. Being the Saturday, I'll be working on a Saturday, whereas the bank holiday Monday I won't. So we normally try and get away on holiday for Karen's birthday, which is the Monday before. So we might be away for that, but I should be back, and hopefully I like the sound of it. Emma, bank holiday Monday, last game of the season, could have something to play for. How does it suit you?
I wish it had been the Sunday rather than the Monday, because obviously, although it's 3 o'clock kick off, if you're going down, you have a good drink, you can stay for the night if it's on the Sunday, but then most people's going to be back at work on the Tuesday. So obviously, if we get promoted, it would be a massive, how can I put this politely, drink up. Would have a massive celebration in Preston.
You mean a piss up? Is that what you was going to say?
I was trying to be polite and not
right,
swear on YouTube. So you know what I mean?
So,
it just means that people can't really celebrate if we get the playoffs or promoted, if you know what I mean.
No, well, so Emma would be looking forward to a massive drink up, apparently, is what she fancies. Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, I think automatic promotion's probably being a little bit too optimistic, but it could be that we need that game to get a playoff place. Wouldn't affect me. I'm not at work on a Tuesday. I could, me and Cam could go out in Blackpool on bank holiday Monday and have a right good drink up. Jack, how does it suit you, bank holiday Monday?
Nah, it's not good for me, Phil. I would have rather just kept it on the Saturday, because
I couldn't go.
Well, I work Monday to Friday, but I get my weekends off. Whereas actually, even though it's a bank holiday, I'll be scheduled to work that day. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just swap the shift slide and have work on Saturday and have the Monday off, because I'm by no stretch of the imagination a royalist. I couldn't really give a monkeys about King Charles getting a crown on his head. So I might ask to work that on the Saturday and have the Monday off and miss all the hullabaloo.
Well, I can't see it being a bit. I can't see a lot of. Well, I'm going to say I can't see a lot of people watching it, but I'd probably have record figures of watching it. But I won't be going out of my way to watch it myself. But yeah, but it suits me. But it's just a bit of information for everybody out there. Then that last game of the season for us, when we're away at Preston North End, is now going to be on Monday, the 8th of May, which is the bank holiday Monday. That's when that's going to be. I'm surprised at that, because I need to check on this actually, because the official bank holiday would normally have been the first. Just let me have a quick check of this. Would have normally been the first, unless we're getting an extra bank holiday because of it. Yes, right. So the May bank holiday is going to actually be the first. So Karen's birthday off, but then obviously there's going to be an extra bank holiday for the coronation. So there's going to actually be 3 bank holidays in May. So that's how that's going to work anyway. Right. So that's a bit of info there. Quick, have a look on the chat down here. Let's have a look, see if anything's happening there. Bristolian Mackham says, never seen it as a derby. They're a Yorkshire club. Mick Griffith says, Mick McCarthy being appointed as Blackpool manager till the end of the season. It's all new to me. I've not really seen any of that today, but big fan of Mick McCarthy. Like him, he's straight talking, and I thought he was great for us, and so we wish him luck down at Blackpool. Honest opinion, do you think we're ready for the Prem? If we went, well, chuck it round quickly. Emma, if we went straight up, do you think we're ready for the Premier?
I don't. I really, really don't. We're not strong enough for the Premiership. I think would yo-yo for a few seasons, if I'm honest with you. But it's what I said about being in League One, that get promoted to the Championship, sit in the Championship for a couple of seasons and build, then go up, and then would be worth it again.
Right, fair enough. To be honest, I mean, even if we have a couple of seasons in the Championship and go up, we'll still not be ready for the Prem. It's all about spending the money and buying the players to make yourself at least ready. So I think, we're not ready for it, but it's how the 100 million would be spent for going up. Jack, do you think we could be ready for the Prem if we went straight up?
Well, I wouldn't begrudge going up. Do you know what I mean? If I think everyone would be celebrate going up, it would be an excellent occasion to go up and up again. You can't pick and choose these things, to be fair. So sometimes you just have to accept if you get a bit of luck and you get a form towards the end of the season and go up like we did last season. Do I think we're good? I think it's not so much are we ready to go up. I think are we good enough to go up? Are we good enough to get promotion from this league at the minute? I'd say not quite. I think there's 4 or 5 teams at least that are stronger than us. I get Emma's point, and I sort of do agree with it to a certain extent. You want to go up and make sure you're secure and stable and in a stronger position to stay up. But sometimes you can yo-yo for a few seasons and then go up at once when you are ready. Because look at Norwich. Norwich are in a decent position. Sometimes you can yo-yo a little bit, but I don't think we're good enough to go up. I think it's going to take a little bit more building and possibly another season to improve our squad and then have a right go at it maybe next year or the year after. But we're not far away.
Right, okay. Before I go to you, Wayne, just quickly back on the chat. Mick Griffiths says, Jack, you need to throw a sickie on that bank holiday weekend. That's what you need to do. Steve Usher, all right, everyone. Hi, Steve. Hopefully you're recovering well because we know you've had a spell in hospital. So all the team here wish you well and hope you have a speedy recovery. DJ Earth says he thinks it's a derby, but we're always rubbish against them. Conrad Tang is on there. Steve says also we're nowhere near ready for the Prem. However, parachute payments, something that could help us build quicker. Wayne, are we ready for the Prem if we went straight up?
No, I don't think we are. I think we've touched on it before. I don't think the Jack's just been saying the squad's not good enough at the moment. But we've seen teams in the past have gone up, like, and they've surprised people. There's no reason why we couldn't do that. But at the minute, no. But like we've said, I don't think you can pass up the opportunity if it does come along. Like I say, chances could be few and far between of getting promoted. So if we have got the opportunity, why not go and take it? And like I've been saying, the parachute payments will definitely soften the blow if we were to yo-yo for a couple of seasons. So I'd definitely take it, but I don't think we're ready.
I think what Jack says is the key. It's are we ready for the Prem? Are we actually good enough in this league to go up? And that's what you need to look at, because like I say, even having a couple of extra seasons in this league, we'll still not be ready for it. It's how you spend the money to make yourself competitive, or at least good enough to at least stay in the Prem. Right, let's quickly go on to transfer rumours, which are kicking about this week already. French media came out yesterday, I think it was, saying that we're in talks with the French under-21 winger Isaac Lihaji from Lille. Reports say he's already been to the academy. Had a look around there. I don't know if you know anything about him, but thoughts on him, a French winger, Jack?
To be honest, Phil, I haven't heard much about him. I heard his name being bandied around a little bit, but I don't know very much about him. I'm just looking at him now. Is he a forward? Is he a forward / winger type player? Yeah. To be honest, that wouldn't have been the first position I would have gone for. I think we've got Amad Diallo, we've got Patrick Roberts, we've got Jack Clark. Embleton could potentially play there when he comes back. So that wouldn't have been necessarily the first position I would go for. I think striker, out and out striker, centre forward type, goal scorer would have been higher on my list than that particular player. But as for him personally, Phil, I must admit I haven't heard anything about him. So yeah, but it doesn't surprise us that we're looking down young players, because that's the recruitment strategy, isn't it? 20 to 24-year-old, well, maybe younger, 18 to 23-year-olds, and then develop them. But I must admit I haven't heard of him, so I couldn't really pass a comment.
Yeah, well, that's you're right with the young players. I mean, we've got a very young team, and that seems to be the system they're going for. Emma, have you heard anything about him? On he's sort of a winger, attacking winger. He's would he suit you? Do you think?
I'm the same as Jack, Phil. Don't know much about him. If I'm honest, his name's being bandied about. That's about all I know. But as Jack said, do we need the winger? We don't need a winger. But at the end of the day, we're not head of recruitment, are we? We can just give our opinions.
And to be fair, I mean, they've not done that bad. I mean, look at Ahmad coming in there for starters anyway. Just very quickly on the chat, Marion Trowell says, hi, everyone. Hi, Marion. Thanks for tuning in. Steve Usher, am I the only one who has a hotel booked for the playoff final just in case? Possibly, though it is something that I was sort of discussing, and I did mention on here a while back, and my wife came in and said, no, we're not booking anything like that, not yet. But I don't know, we're at that time of year now where we'll check the dates. It's worth booking them up, and I mean, it costs us a fortune for the playoff final through not booking early. Whereas you can book now at a decent price, and you can just cancel, can't you? So, but Steve, yes, I think you probably are the only one who's got the hotel booked for the playoff final, just in case. Wayne, have you heard much about him? This Isaac Lihadji, French winger, in the France under-21 squad as well. So he must have a bit of pedigree about him. Thoughts on him?
When the story broke last night, I did a little bit of research on where he came from. So they labelled him the French wonder kid. That apparently he suffered a broken leg last year or the year before, and they reckon if he hadn't suffered the broken leg, he would have been at Barcelona by now. But that's just media reports, so it depends how good he is. But I was also reading the background behind it as well, and the thoughts kind of they're going to sign him, then bed him in for half a season, and then when Ahmad goes back to Man United, he's already made fit to replace Ahmad. So that's kind of what I've been reading. Whether it's true, but that's just the reports I was looking at when I did a bit of research last night.
Right. Okay. I was reading bits on it, and I'm sure, unless I'm getting mixed up here, he had some connection with the Olympique Marseille, which would be the link, wouldn't it, with what's his name, KLD's family and all that. I've got links with them. I'm getting old. I can't remember things. Bristolian Macam on the chat says Man United and Barcelona were looking at him a few years ago, but opted for Diallo instead. He's in the French under-21 side. He's tricky.
I just hope we don't put too much expectation on him. I mean, don't go too hard with the Man United and Barcelona links. I know it's to talk, but you don't want to be coming expecting like Cristiano Ronaldo later. Someone to turn up. Let's calm it down a bit.
Yeah, but Jack, that's easier said than done. I mean, it's out there now. Man United and Barcelona get mentioned. It's like when Diaku came from Bayern Munich, and we're all like Bayern Munich, whoa! And well, there you go. The rest is history. Mo Diddley on the chat says the French lad is coming in to replace Ahmad, who will be without next season, which is what you were saying. Wayne down there. Chris Johnson, good to see you on the mend. Steve McGriffiths, we should put in a bid for Ahmad now. We ain't going to get him. I can't see that happening. Steve also says that this Lihadji is being lined up as Ahmad's replacement, which again is what's already been said on there. So that's the link to him. We've got no further news on Gelhard and Ekwa. You know, these have been bandied about this week as well. Although before we went on, one of you was saying that Gelhard looks like he's off to Wigan. Who was that? Was that what you were in?
Yeah, I was just reading some reports on social media, but apparently he was at Wigan prior. I think he's been there on loan before, and I think they have kind of put a late offer in for him, so he's kind of at the other forefront of where he wants to go, or he wants to go back there, which I'm quite surprised about. If he, you know, the bottom of the league, and they're near the bottom, and whether they've promised him more game time and waiting off him, I don't know. It seems a strange one if he does go there.
Right, Jack, was you one in there?
Yeah, it was just to go over what I said before we come on. I think Wigan are just trying to stockpile as many strikers as they can. I'm not really sure what that move has for him. You know what I mean? Like Wayne's touched on, they might have been promised more football, but if anything, Wigan are lowering the table, and he's got more competition at Wigan. They've got 5 or 6 strikers. You know what I mean? A couple of them are, you know, we know the likes of Charlie White and 1 or 2 others. So I mean, I'm not really sure what he's thinking is there, as to, unless it can only be the fact that he knows the club. Obviously, he knows the club, and maybe it's less for him to travel. If he's sort of Northwest or Leeds based, it's easier for them to get there and maybe get home than it would be. But a bit of a strange one, that, because even competition wise, we've only got 1 striker at the club now. Wouldn't you think he would be more likely to get game time here? So it's a bit of a strange one, that.
Well, it is weird. I mean, especially with Wigan being where they are, and you know, why wouldn't he want to come to a massive club? Mick Griffiths says he doesn't think Ahmad will stop at Man United. Chris Johnson says, I love this recruitment team. Like every window is exciting as well. Who knows? I mean, well, to be fair, I mean, they've you know, you can't grumble with the job they're doing, really. Again, back to social media. So this is social media, and this is nothing else other than social media. So, you know, don't lay your hat on this. I read today, apparently Bailey Wright is on his way out. Thoughts on him going if he was to go, Emma?
Well, I've read that Mobile would happily release him. So to me, he's clearly out of favour with him. I don't know why. I mean, to me, Bailey Wright, he can, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, inspire the younger ones. He can guide them and bring them on a bit. So I'd be a bit gutted if he went, to be honest, because I think a lot of the younger lads look up to the more experienced and older players. And if our recruitment is going down the line of younger players, do we not need just that little bit of experience there to help and guide them?
Right, fair enough. I mean, word is, and again, it's social media talk, so there's not even any cast iron, you know, we've got a source or anything like that. But they're apparently they're looking to bring some younger defenders in, which again makes sense with the model we build now. Wayne, thoughts on Bailey Wright letting him go?
I think it's a bit of a strange one, unless we've got somebody lined up to come and replace him. Like Emma's just been saying, there, he's a good experience that around the squad. But looking at the last few games, he's clearly not in Tony Mowbray's plans. I mean, he played a couple of games, didn't he, when we were struggling? And he did nothing wrong, to be fair. But then as soon as other players were fit, he was out of the team. And then Saturday, also when Nine got sent off, he brought Danny back on and left Bailey Wright on the bench. So he clearly just doesn't fancy him. I think Aberdeen's been linked with him, and from what I can gather, I think Tony Mowbray's brother is part of the recruitment team up in Aberdeen. So I think that's where the link's been made. But for me, unless we've got somebody coming out, I would keep him purely just for the experience around the team at the minute.
That'll be Mac Mowbray.
Mowbray.
All right. Jack, your thoughts on letting Bailey Wright go?
Well, I agree with what Emma and Wayne have said. I don't really see the value in getting rid of him. I certainly wouldn't be releasing him, because I think he signed a 2-year deal last year, didn't he? So he's still got a year and a half left on his contract. So that would be, I mean, if he only had 6 months, I could sort of half understand paying him up. But if he's still got a year and a half left in his contract, I don't think we would be releasing him. So it must only be a club coming in to offer us something for him, either, you know, a fee or not. So depends on the fee, but we don't want to leave ourselves too short. Let's not forget, I mean, we've got O'Nien suspended. And unless he's still a bit iffy with his injury, so that would, if we do get rid of Bailey, right, then we're down to Ballard and Bath. Well, you know, they've both had injuries this season, haven't they? So, I mean, it's already been touched on his experience. You do need, the recruitment model to go down younger players is very, very all well and good. You know what I mean? Very, very working all right for us, but you do need one or two experienced older heads to kind of guide them a little bit, as it's been touched on. So I can't really see the thinking behind it, but I agree with the fact that he doesn't. I don't think Tony Mowbray fancies him. I think he'd probably be bottom choice. You know, be last on the list for Tony Mowbray. He's even got like Luke O'Nien and Alessi ahead of him. So yeah, I don't see the value in getting rid of him.
Right, fair enough. Again, we say this is just social media, so it could be nothing, could be absolutely nothing in it. Just very quickly, Conrad Tank says, should have kept Bailey Wright. Seems like a great character. Like we said, it's social media talk, and that's all it is. So, you know, there's quite possibly nothing in it. Johnny Thorns is on there, the legend that is Johnny Thorns, a good friend of our very own Jacob Kirkbride, who wasn't available for tonight. And by the way, if you're wondering where Terry is, Terry's still on holiday up in Inverness up there, but we'll be back with us next week. Johnny Thorne says, often our best results are when Bailey Wright is in the team, both this season and last season. We don't lose many games when he plays. Mo Diddley back on there says, you know who would bring invaluable experience to the squad? The Farah Wizard. Bring him home. The old Jordan Henderson shout out there then. Colin Major says, is this team any younger? If this team gets any younger, they'll be playing in nappies. But they're young and hungry. Just very quickly, well, we got 95 on the stream at the moment. We got 51 likes. Let's tell you what, let's see if we can try and hit 100 if we can. If you just hit the thumbs up, it'll take you a second to do that. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat open, just close the live chat. You'll see the thumbs up. Just smash that. Let's get those numbers up for us. And more importantly, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's free to subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button, and that does help. But don't forget, hit that thumbs up, and we'll get those numbers up. Very quickly as well, just on the socials, there's talk of six new people coming in, 4 people going out. But again, it's just social media talk and nothing else. Right, so Sunday, Sunderland versus Middlesbrough. The Smoggies in town. Similar question for you, first of all, then. Is it a derby? Is it not a derby? Wayne, do you want to kick us off with that?
Not for me. I've never, ever classed it as a derby. I think, you know, Middlesbrough closer to Yorkshire. I think they treat it as a derby game, but I think the majority of us Sunderland fans don't treat it as a derby. Like I say, I think Leeds is more their local side. So for me, I've never ever treated it as a derby, but it's not to say not have the same intensity as what a derby game might have, you know, but not for me. It isn't a derby in my eyes.
Right, fair enough. Emma, is it a derby or not a derby?
Nah, it's no derby for me. I mean, derby games, what I class a derby game, I'm ill for about a week, 2 weeks leading up to it. And that morning of that match, I am ill. And I've never even thought about the game come Sunday. Like Wayne said, I think they class us as a derby. And our biggest rival is obviously Newcastle, but I think we've got ones that sit above Middlesbrough, the likes of Coventry. I think we class them as a bit of a bigger rival to what we do, the Smoggies. So to me, it's just not a derby. Just a normal league game.
Right, fair enough. Mick Griffiths on the chat said, no, it's not a derby for me. Like Wayne, it's just another game. Jack, is it a derby game or not?
No, not for me. I think, you know, when you play Newcastle, it brings something different in me. The intensity and the passion that I have and the nerves. It's the Newcastle home and away is the only game I really get nervous for. I mean, obviously Wembley in the big occasions, but regular league games, it's only when we play Newcastle I'm a bit worried. And when we lose to Newcastle, it takes me a while to get over it. It takes me a good few weeks, if not months. Middlesbrough, if we lost on Sunday, I'd be a bit disappointed. Don't get us wrong, but I think I think I'd get over it. And I think that the fans from Middlesbrough, I think that you can have a bit more. I don't know what you think, what Wayne, Emma, and you think, Phil, but I think with Middlesbrough fans, you can have a bit more of a rational debate with them. You can have a bit of pattering. Yeah, they give you a little bit of stick, but it's more gentle. Whereas I think when you have that with Newcastle fans, that they start and bring out other things like, where's your airport? Now a bridge is bigger than your bridge, and where you haven't played in Europe, my dad's bigger than your dad, and all that garbage. You know what I mean? So I think not a derby for me, but I do think that when Newcastle aren't in our league, I do think the Middlesbrough games do have a little bit more edge to them. I don't know what you all think, but I think the Middlesbrough games do have a little bit more than they normally would. But no, it's not our derby. Our derby's them black and white sort of 10 miles.
Right, okay. Well, I will say, I mean, even though, well, we're chugging to you, Emma. Do you not feel, though, I mean, it's probably wrong to say it's a derby game. I know we get exactly what you're saying about that feeling of the nerves and playing on. But do you not think when we play Middlesbrough, there's a little bit something there, a bit more than all the other teams we're playing in this league? Emma?
I think it feels a bit more intense because the way the Middlesbrough fans go on. So I think that riles us up, if that makes sense. But for me, it's nothing.
I mean, well, for them, I mean, we are their derby. I mean, they hate us, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it annoys them, the fact that we're not really bothered. Like Jack summed it up, you lose to the Mags and you're absolutely gutted and that, you lose to the Smoggers and so what, they can have a bit dance about and sing and whatever. But I mean, what sums it up, we try to, when I used to do the pre-matches in Passion, and we used to have the big derby days for Newcastle, and it was chock-a-block and what have you. And then they weren't in our league, and we had Middlesbrough, and we tried to plug it as it's derby day, to you. And it was sort of awful because it just, I mean, I knew what we were doing. We were trying to go, it is derby day, but it never really worked. Steve Usher, just very quickly on the chat, says, it's not a derby. I despise Geordies and hate everything about the City team people. I couldn't give a toss about them people in Yorkshire, apparently. And Mo Diddley says, the crack's better with the Smogies because they've got two heads, apparently. Right, okay, so we've decided it's not a derby. I think we all sort of agree on that. All right, what used to happen, and as far as I'm aware, it's been banned now. And I don't know if it's either club have banned them or whatever. But when we used to play Middlesbrough, especially when we went down there, we'd put the masks on and we'd put the paper suits on and all that. And now you're not allowed to do that. Now the club's being petty. Has it just taken all that? It's a bit of banter. It's football banter. That's what it is. Have the clubs gone a bit too far now, stopping that win?
I think it's just the kind of the way the world's gone now, and you've got to be seen as being politically correct, if that's the word. I think it's, we know it's just a bit banter, but if it's going to offend some people, then it'll just get stopped, won't it? So it is frustrating because it was funny to see and it was a good laugh, but I think it's just the way of the world now, unfortunately.
I think you're right. I think it's snowflakes and the old Generation Z and all that kicking in. It's all I think it is more about society than it's all about offending people. Jack, did you ever wear a mask or a paper suit going down to Middlesbrough?
No, I didn't. I have seen a few people do it, and I must admit it does get a bit of a giggle, but I think sometimes you just need to let things go in the past. You know what I mean? I think that the joke's been. I think, to be fair, I couldn't have a go at Newcastle bringing out tired old cliches and then say, "Oh, it's funny when we do it." So I think, as funny as it is, Phil, I think sometimes you've just got to move on and let things go a bit. Because I mean, I'm not as old as one or two, probably not as old as you, but we've done it as long as I remember. And I think sometimes you just need to get some new pattern now and again.
I know, but it's still that. I mean, there's still songs what get sung which I can't ever mention on here, which hark back 30 years, with the stuff. But again, it's I just thought the masks and that was just a bit of, it's a bit of harmless fun. I mean, you can understand when chants are sang and certain things, when they sing about Man United with the Munich disaster and things like that, you can see all that. But I mean, it's just a bit petty for me. But Emma, your thoughts on that? Have you ever wore a mask when you've been down there? You should wear a mask all the time, actually, Emma.
You cheeky sod. You cheeky sod. But in all honesty, come on. How can they ban you from wearing the mask these days? COVID's about. They can't see anything. But to me, I think they've done it to try and avoid bother because, as you say, Middlesbrough class us as a derby. So there's no doubt going to be bother at the weekend. And if I'm honest with you, I'm a bit concerned about, obviously, the north end of the stadium for things going overhead. But that's another matter.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat. But Glyn Jones says 3 points and 1 point was this Sunday. Need to bounce back after that Swansea result. Steve says the club have blocked the display in the Roker end. Don't know if you've seen that. The Spirit of 37 were going to do all the up the cards thing. Apparently, the club have knocked that back. But apparently they're going to get the surfer flag out. This is Wearside or something instead anyway. Mick Griffiths, have you still got your mask on, Philly? Very good. I need to be wearing a mask. It's my age. Wayne, you want in there?
I just want to touch on that. What Emma was saying, sort of about the fans throwing, the away fans throwing stuff down. That's been going on all the season, now being done. But because of the concern about these cards getting thrown on the pitch, suddenly they stop it. It doesn't make sense. When there's people that have been in danger all the season, but now it's been done about it. That's the frustrating part about it. Yeah,
that's a very valid point. Like, I mean, they're worried about a few paper planes coming on the pitch. Yeah, when stuff's got thrown down, because they're so reluctant to put netting up, which we've said time and time again. It's probably an inexpensive option. It can be done straight away. It solves the problem. But for some reason, I don't know. It's as though if the fans put an idea to them and it's a great idea, it's like they then don't want to do it because they haven't thought of it or whatever. I don't know.
I'm not sure how far it's true, but there's a lad who sits where we sit, and apparently the guy who was going to put the nets in for the away fans, he's left the club, and since he's left, there's been nothing more said about it.
Right, okay. Jack, you're on about just in the private chat here about the reduction of the allocation from Middlesbrough. Has that been reduced then, has it? It's just under 2,000, is it?
I think Middlesbrough, I'm sure I've read online, I might be wrong, somebody might put me right in the chat, but I'm nearly sure Middlesbrough have actually asked for more, and I think the club have given them more. But I think we slightly did reduce on the allocation. We have done that in Middlesbrough before on account of them standing. I just think I worry about that because I'm an away supporter. I go to most Sunderland away games, and I would hate to think that other clubs will start and do that to us. Do you know what I mean? So I get why our fans, our club will want to do it to other fans for safety aspects, but I do think it'll increase in, tit for tat. Well, you reduced allocation at the Stadium of Light, so we're going to give you less away tickets when you come to our place next season. You know what I mean? I just think we need to be careful with what we're doing that. I think, 2,000 is a reasonable amount to give Middlesbrough. I think cutting it down to 1,500 or whatever it was to save it on, police or, make it easier for them because they're standing. I think, and to be honest, I mean, it's not just Middlesbrough. Most away supporters will come to an away ground and they tend to stand a lot of the time anyway, rightly or wrongly. I mean, I'm not going to get into that whether that's right or not, but the safety aspect. But I think as an away fan, you tend to stand more than a home fan anyway. So I think we need to be careful when we're reducing allocations because I think it'll happen to us. And I want to see as many Sunderland away fans get tickets to games as possible. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but did Middlesbrough not reduce our allocation when we went down? I'm sure they did.
Possibly, Phil. I mean, I think we have 2,500. I just think, in general, I think reducing allocations. I just think, whether it's us doing it or the teams, I just think it's wrong. I understand why you want to give yourself home advantage, but I think sometimes the slightly bigger away support does create an atmosphere. You know what I mean? It makes it a bit more passionate and a little bit more kind of tribal, so to speak. So Yeah, I don't know, but I just think it was, you know, I hope our club's not going to set a precedent for it.
Yeah, I don't think we got as many as 2,500 going down there. I'm not sure, and if I remember right, I'll bring in just now, Emma. I mean, I think didn't we batter them down? Well, we got beat 1-0, but didn't we batter them down there? I think we was
all
we
over
were
them second
good
half.
down there, weren't we?
Yeah, we're all over them second half, but we're 1-0 down. We just couldn't score. It was that when Stuart? I think Stuart pulled up in the warm up, didn't he? I think if we'd had Stuart that night, we'd get something. But he pulled up in the warm up.
Yeah, Emma, you was one in there.
It's just they've opened the concourse for Sunday as well. So is it not going to depend on how many we sell for the concourse to whether they will get Middlesbrough more?
All right, is the bottom bowl sold out already? Is it?
I don't think it is, but I know that they have opened the concourse, and so I suppose it depends how far around they want to let the Sunderland fans go.
I don't think we'll sell out, to be fair. Like, I mean, we might, but I don't think. I think it'll be 41, 42, but I don't think we're going to sell all the way along. I might be wrong. I could be proved wrong, but I doubt it.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, back on the chat there, let's have a look. Bristolian Mackham, I've never heard of Smoggy explain why they think we are their rivals. David Joblin, that Leeds player is a lost gem. Get the money in the pocket. Fair enough. I don't know enough about him to comment on that. Both teams are in good scoring form at the moment. I think we're the fourth highest scorers in the league, and I think Middlesbrough the third highest. So do we expect a high scoring game win?
I think it's two teams in decent form. I think since Michael Carrick took over, I think they were probably second or third off bottom, weren't they, now in the playoffs? So he's had a massive impact since he went there. So it could well be. But like I say, I think it's going to be probably one of our most difficult home games of the season, I would have thought, the way just the form that they're in.
Right, okay. Emma, do you think it might be a high scorer?
No, I don't think it will be, because I think that both teams are just going to try and defend for the full 90 minutes. If I'm honest, I can't see there being that many goals.
Right, okay. Las Palmas Mackham says, well, it's 0-0 on. Steve Usher's going for a 2-2 draw. Jack, both high-scoring teams, well, banging them in at the moment. Are we expecting a high-scoring game Sunday?
Yeah, well, I don't know about high scoring, but I think it'll be pretty open. I disagree with them. I think we'll have a go, and I think Middlesbrough will try and get us on the counter. And they are dangerous. They're in form. They'll be fancying their chances as much as we will. I think I've looked at our recent record against Middlesbrough, and it's fairly shocking. I think we've lost something like 7 of the last. It's either 6 of the last 7 or 7 of the last 8. So we really do owe them one, don't we? We really do. We're long overdue a home win against them. I think it's going back to the Roy Keane era since the last time we beat these at home. I think Roy Keane beat them twice within a few months of each other. So yeah, I think there'll be goals. I think there'll be open football. They're in form, probably more than we are. They've really started a motor under Michael Carrick. I mean, they were well below us, weren't they? They were about 6 points below us, and now they're sort of 3 or 4 in front of us. So yeah, and I think if we're harbouring realistic ambitions of playoffs, I think it's a game we need to be getting something from. Ideally, a win, but. Yeah, I think it'll be open. I think it'll be really, really open. It'll be interesting to see how we get on. All
right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat. Jalsey, come on, Philly, will you block Steve? No, he's very entertaining, Jalsey, and you know he is. That's why you have him on your channel. So a quick plug there for Jalsey, by the way, if you've not been on Jalsey's channel, Jalsey and Steve, great entertainment, great Sunderland YouTubers. Check them out if you haven't already done so. Yeah, like you say, Jack, the record against Borough is it's atrocious. It really is. We always do terrible. It makes it worse that the head doorman to one of the venues I work is a Middlesbrough fan as well, and you know I should be taking the weekend off. Really, I should be taking Sunday night off because I know what's going to happen. Just very quickly, we got 64 likes, and we'd like to try and hit 100 if we can. on a Thursday. Take your second to hit that thumbs up if you do us a favour and just do that. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat open, just close the live chat. You see the thumbs up, just smash that. Let's get them numbers going up for us if you could. That'll help our channel. And also, if you've not subscribed to the channel, it's free to subscribe, and just hit that subscribe button. Steve's going on saying our channel. It's our channel, not Jazz's channel. It's our channel. Okay, so since Michael Carrick's come into Middlesbrough, he's changed things around for Borough. Like you say, they were in a shocking run of form. They were right down the bottom, and he's changed it. Is he a good fit for them, or do you think they're still in their honeymoon period, where you know that they're still on the back end of that, where manager comes in, you know, turns it around, and then he settles down? Jack?
I think he's been there 3 or 4 months now, isn't he? I know what you mean, Phil. Sometimes you do get a new manager bounce, and that might still be there, but I think it looks like a good fit. Unfortunately for us, it looks like he's found a group of young lads. He's getting the best out of them. I haven't followed them too closely, but as you say, just looking at the results and looking at the league position, bottom 6 to top 6 in 3 or 4 months, he must be doing something right. One of my Middlesbrough mates says that he's got them playing well. You know what I mean? They've got a lot. He's brought them the most out of the attacking side. So I think they're going to be dangerous. I think it's bad news for us, but they do look bang in form as well. So I think it looks like a good fit. I mean, sometimes with the coaching, he's played under one of the best, hasn't he, Alex Ferguson? And sometimes the contacts and the experience you can get from somebody like that, invaluable. So yeah, it looks like a good fit, but hopefully not on Sunday.
Yeah, it's. Am I right in assuming it's Carrick's first managerial post? Is that right? So
yeah, he's been assistant. He's been assistant, hasn't he? At Man United, I think was he assistant to Ryan Giggs and Van Gaal a little bit, and maybe Mourinho. I'm not sure. Someone will probably correct me on that. So he's been kind of the number 2, and now he's obviously saw this as a great opportunity to come to the fore and be number 1.
All right, fair enough. Before comments start coming in about Emma's pussy and stuff like that, we thought we'd chuck that in. Emma, I mean, it's his first managerial role, so you know, has he just been lucky? Is it a honeymoon period? Or do you think he might be actually a good fit for Middlesbrough?
No, I think like what Jack said, I think he could be a good fit. I don't think there's any sort of like honeymoon period, new manager bounce there anymore. I think he's just like getting in, he's getting the lads to gel and play the game that he wants to play.
Right. Just very quickly on the chat, Glyn Jones says, and I don't know if he's put weights on, but he's saying Chuba Akpom, but isn't it Chumba Akpom or something? Unless he's just his fat brother, is their danger man apparently. So he's the top. I think he's the league's top scorer, isn't he? I think he's up there. But Steve's got to go. Like we say, get well soon, Steve, from everybody on the channel here. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Wayne, Michael Carrick, first management role. Is he a good fit, or is he still in that honeymoon period and he's on that bounce of coming in as a new manager?
Just to echo what's already been said, really. I think he's been there, you know, long enough now for that honeymoon period to kind of peter out if it was going to. So I think he's just proven himself to be a good young manager. You know, when we were looking for a new manager not so long ago, you know, we were on about, do we give, you know, young managers the opportunity? I think he was actually linked with us at one point. So it's just kind of it just shows you, just because it's a first managerial post, that, you know, you can still do a good job. And to be fair to him, he's done a cracking job there so far. So I don't think it's a honeymoon period. I think they're going to push, or they're going to be up there playoffs to the end of the season. I think from what I've seen, they look very decent.
Right, okay, fair enough. So Sunderland Middlesbrough then, Sunday, our little derby game, what's not a derby. What about predictions then, score predictions? Jack, what are you thinking?
Well, I think they'll be open. I think there'll be plenty of chances. I'm going to be positive, and I think we might just nick it. I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1 Sunderland from Jack. Wayne, what are you thinking?
I've already said I think it's going to be a very difficult game they're on form. But if we can get our game, we can get on the front foot and maybe get an early goal against them, and we'll go for the high scoring game. I'm going to be positive as well. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win to us.
3-2 win. Well, I'm going to change, man, because I was going to go 3-2, but we'll. Emma, what are you thinking?
I'm going to be quite positive. I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 loss.
Scrubby 1-0 win. Borough have scored in all their last, all their games since Michael Carrick took over, apparently. But I think I'm going to go for a 3-1 win, just for a change. And I'm hoping I get a win before the end of the season on my bets. Mick Griffiths on the chat says he's going for 3-2. I can see it being a high-scoring game. I can see it being a little bit end-to-end. So 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, and then somebody grabbing a winner at the end win.
I'm not sure if they played since, but didn't they get beat 5-1 in the FA Cup at home against Brighton? Was it last weekend?
Yeah, 5-2 or something. Won it 5-1, 5-2 or something like that. But
but another good hammer, didn't they?
Good team, Brighton. Decent team, Brighton. To be fair, they're having a really good season. People said when Potter went, there's Brighton going to struggle, but they're doing better now he's gone.
They've gone from strength to strength.
Chelsea is struggling. Conrad Tank says a 2-1 win must start to climb the table again. Christie coming in 3-2 to the lads. Very hard game. He's saying about climbing the table again. I think I think everybody's pretty happy with whereabouts we are. But again, it's important that we keep momentum going because it is so tight between top and bottom, and a couple of defeats, and it can leave you down there in the mire. What about team selection then? I thought we could chuck that in, couldn't we, Jack?
Yeah, well, obviously we'll have one enforced change. Luke O'Nien has to go out because he's obviously suspended. So I think who do you replace him with? I think you're looking at Danny Barth, aren't you? Really, I think it's a straightforward one there. He brought him when Luke O'Nien was sent off. We brought him off the bench, so that's a straightforward one. Barth has to come in for Luke O'Nien. Then where are you looking at in the middle? I'd be tempted to maybe just shore up the middle a little bit more, maybe stick somebody like Bar in it and maybe reduce to the bench somebody like Patrick Roberts or Jack Clark, one of those two, just to make sure we've got a solid base because we don't want to lose the physical battle in the middle as well. So maybe slightly reduce our creativity to make sure you're solid in the middle because it's a derby game. Well, is it a derby game? We've touched on that. It's a rivalry game, shall we say? And you want to make sure you're winning the physical battles and things. So that might be something we could look at. But yeah, obviously the straightforward ones, Danny Barth in for Luke O'Nien.
I don't know though, Jack. I mean, seeing the creativity out of there is the best form of defence, not to attack. I think if we've got our wingers in there and bombarding down and sticking cross in and Clark running the box and all that, I think will cause them all sorts of problems. So I'm not sure I sort of agree with what you're saying there. Wayne, you was one in.
No, just for my team, I was thinking that obviously I think Jack's right that Danny Butt would probably come in alongside Ballard. Gooch would probably come in at left back as well, wouldn't he? I'll move to left back. And then it'll probably be the same moving forward. Neil, Evans in midfield. I would be tempted to put Bar because I've been impressed with Bar, and since he's come in, I think he's done really well. He gives us energy around the pitch, and he's not afraid to put his foot in either. And he's a ball carrier as well, so I think Sunday we might just need that. And obviously Diallo and Clark as well. Will he play Clark or will he play Roberts? Probably Clark, and then obviously we're Roscoe up front. So I think I tend to agree with you, Phil. I think I would probably go more attacking and try. And we're at home. We've got the home advantage and try and get it on the front foot and try and get a couple of goals in front if we could.
Just on the chat there, Telly says Borough is the form team at the moment. Glenn Jones saying he has to play Clark Roberts with Ahmad. Mick Griffiths says he thinks Mowbray will get the lads up for it on Sunday. You know, I mean, well, they should be up for every game, but again, we've said it's not really a derby game, but there is a little bit something a bit more special about it than any other game. I think with it being Middlesbrough. Emma, your team, how would you look at it?
Yeah, pretty much what the lads have said. It's straight swap for 09 for Bath, however you want to pronounce him. But to be fair, I'd like to see Mitchell in the game a little bit more, because I think he's improving. The more he plays, the more he seems to improve. But I agree with what Wayne was saying about Barr. I mean, Blackpool away, he changed the game when he come on. So I'd like to see Barr in the lineup as well, and possibly starting. Right,
okay. It's a tricky one. I mean, nobody knows how it's going to go. I mean, I like to see attacking football and going at people, and if it doesn't work, at least we've had a go. I hate it when this sitting back and stuff like that and inviting people on and stuff and what have you. But anyway, just before we do wrap it up, because we're almost out of time, we have got a little bit of travel info for you. Anybody going down to Fulham or Millwall? Are you going down, Jack? You normally are going down both them?
Yeah, two London trips, 2 weekends in a row for me. So yeah, early starts, but should be good.
Are you going? Hang on, my wife's on the chat. Do you want a cup of Phil? Just hang on. Just let me reply to her. Yes, please, babe. I've got to put a kiss on, otherwise I get rang. Hang on. There you go. Right. There, we're on. There you go. Yeah, are you going down on the train, Jack?
No, we've avoided trains recently because of the problems with them in the strikes. Yeah, so we're just busting it down. We've got a bus for both of them, so setting off early. I think we're setting off at 6 o'clock, so early start. But now better than a day with the lads on the lagers, shall we say?
Yeah, yeah. Fulham should be a good game. I mean, is it 5,700 or something? The allocation is so that'd be a good. That'd be a good one. I can't go. It's on a Saturday. But if you are going down to Fulham or Millwall and you're going on LNER, if you're down on the train, there's major works on the East Coast Main Line. So there will be diversions, and it's going to put around about 60 minutes on your journey. So just bear that in mind if you're traveling down on the train to both Fulham or Millwall. So you just got to you've got to watch out for that. That just about wraps it up. Frog in the throat. Well, we got 74 likes. If we can get another 26 people in that thumbs up, that'll get us to 100, and we'll love you all. And Emma will come round to your house and kiss you all on the bottom if you're prepared to do that. So just hit the thumbs up. Please take a second to do that, and don't forget, hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe to the channel if you would. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, Terry will be back off his holidays next week, so he'll be back to see you all. Emma, thanks for joining us. Would you like to say bye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. And Wayne, do you want to just say bye to everyone?
Yep. See everybody. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.
And don't forget, give your channel a plug there, Wayne.
Yeah. So as it's on the screen, it's Only Fools in SAFC. If you haven't already, head over there, and if you like the content, then please like and subscribe.
If you don't like the content, thumbs down or something like that. It'll be all right. No, check it out. Only Fools in SAFC. That's Wayne's YouTube channel. Check that out. Go and give it a like. Give it a subscribe as well. And Jack, do you want to sign off as you normally do?
Well, I've just realised there when Wayne thanked everybody, I don't think I've ever done that. I've never said thank you. So thank you to everybody for watching, because we wouldn't have a show if nobody watched. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be worth doing. So thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully get a win, and I'll see you all later, lads and lasses.
There you go. So we'll be back again. We'll have Wayne's Roundup. Will be going on not tomorrow, probably, or could be late tomorrow, Saturday. That'll be on. Just check that out. And we will be back for Monday Night Live. So we'll see you all then. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're a member of the channel, don't forget to watch for your name in the credits at the end. Catch you all later. Bye bye.